Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like over on Prizepicks for the Week 4 Thursday Night Football game between the Cowboys and the Giants. Week 4 does kick off Thursday night with a divisional matchup between the Cowboys and Giants guys, and I got two props I like for this game that we're going to talk about over on Prizepicks. We're going to talk about a play that I like on the Cowboys side, and then a play I like on the Giants side. So, two plays. As always, we're going to break down these two plays. We're going to discuss why I like them. Now, before we do get started, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. If you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks and if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, be sure to sign up. Use that promo code NOAH. When you do sign up, you'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account once you place your first lineup. Just make sure to use that promo code NOAH at sign up. And do want to say that Prizepicks does have another free square for Week 4. You can get Caleb Williams pass yards at 0.5, and this is the last time this will be available. So Prizepicks gave out a free square for Week 1, Week 2, Week 3, and now for Week 4. I don't know if they'll probably have some free squares, during the holidays and stuff, at that time, but definitely want to take advantage of these free squares when they're available. This is the last time you'll see this Caleb Williams free square for Week 4. Get this while it's available. It'll be available until that game between the Bears and Rams on Sunday. So you got plenty of time to use this. You can use it Thursday night. You can wait till Sunday. Use it for the Sunday games. It's up to you. But you want to take advantage of these type of promos. And again, if you don't have an account on Prizepicks, make sure to use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up. And also, I do want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well, guys. Use the promo code NOAH over on Sleeper. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. So you put in $100, Sleeper is going to match that, give you an additional $100 to play with as long as you sign up and use code NOAH. Check out Sleeper if you have not yet. Very similar to Prizepicks. It's just a DFS pick'em site where you're picking more or less on player projections. You're building out an entry. You can make up to an 8-pick entry on Sleeper, and you can win up to 100x your money. So go check them out, guys. Download the app, and again, use that code NOAH over on Sleeper to get your deposit bonus. But yeah, guys, we got two picks to talk about for the Week 4 Thursday Night Football game between the Cowboys and the Giants. Now, I do want to recap our plays from our last video on Monday. We had a doubleheader for Monday Night Football, gave out 4 plays Monday night, and hit all 4 plays. So really good way to win to end Week 3. Hopefully you guys tailed those Monday night plays. Hopefully you cashed that 10x with us. And I do want to say, if you guys do enjoy these YouTube videos and you do want more Prizepicks content from me, I do provide additional Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. It's $20 per month. Very, very affordable. You guys can check it out. You can see all that I do offer. We also have a Discord chat you can join where you can discuss props with me, with other people in the community. I'm always in Discord to answer your questions. But I do provide Prizepicks plays for MLB, for NBA, NFL, college football. The content you see me post on YouTube, I give out same type of stuff over on Patreon. It's more written content. I don't really do videos on Patreon, but a lot of written content. I'll give out Prizepicks plays. I'll give out write-ups for why I like each play. And again, you can see all that I do offer. We're posting Prizepicks plays daily over on Patreon. So if you guys want to check out the Patreon, again, it's linked down below in the description. We did post a 4-pick NFL entry for the Monday Night Football doubleheader. We hit that as well. So we hit a 10x on YouTube and we hit a 10x in the Patreon. So really good Monday Night Football slate for us. And I know we got another Monday Night Football doubleheader coming up this week, so I'm excited for that one. But yeah, guys, check out the Patreon if you're interested. That link is down below in the description. But let's go ahead and talk through this game for Thursday night, talk through the props I'm liking. First one we're going to take a look at is going to be a fantasy score. Now, this line already bumped on me, which is kind of annoying. It was at 15.5. It got bumped up to 16, but I still like the over on 16 fantasy score for Daniel Jones. And let's talk through this prop and why I like Daniel Jones for more than 16 fantasy scores. So if you look at Daniel Jones' game log this season, he's gone over this line in 2 out of his 3 games. He did have a really rough outing Week 1 against the Vikings. Had 22 completions, 42 attempts. So he was throwing the ball a ton, but only had 186 pass yards, no touchdowns, and then ran for 15 yards. He did have 2 interceptions in that game. But after Week 1 against the Vikings, Daniel Jones has looked a lot better. Threw for 178 yards, 2 touchdowns against Washington. Also ran for 32 yards. And then last week against Cleveland in a tough matchup, he threw for 236 yards and 2 touchdowns and also ran for 20 yards. And that's something that Daniel Jones does offer. He does offer rushing upside. He is mobile. He can give you fantasy points with his legs. And if you look at Daniel Jones' projections for this game, I mean, he's projected for almost 16 fantasy score just from his normal projections. You give him 200 pass yards, that's 8 fantasy points. You give him 30 rush yards, that's an additional 3 fantasy points. And then you've got to think about touchdown potential. Daniel Jones is favored, pretty heavily favored to throw at least 1 touchdown here. You give him 200 yards passing, 30 rush yards, and then 1 passing touchdown. That puts him at 15 fantasy points. And definitely, he could throw for more than 200 yards. He could run for more than 30 yards. He could throw more than 1 touchdown. He could have a rushing touchdown for all we know. So I definitely think this fantasy score line on 16 for Daniel Jones does have potential to be higher. I definitely could see Daniel Jones outscoring this line just from, given his projections for this game. And I think this is a matchup that's pretty good for him against the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense has not been very good this season. They're already giving up the 4th most fantasy points to quarterbacks. I know last week Lamar Jackson had like 26 fantasy points. Obviously Lamar and Daniel Jones are on a completely different level. But Lamar had 26 fantasy points against the Cowboys. I think Derek Carr had like 23 fantasy points. I mean, we saw what the Saints offense did to Derek Carr. I'm not expecting the Giants to go out there and put up 40 points, but obviously we don't need them to do that for Daniel Jones to get 16 fantasy points. If he can just throw for 200-ish yards, can run for about 20, 30 yards, and then maybe give us 1 or 2 touchdowns, maybe 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. There's just a lot of ways for us to get more than 16 fantasy score here for Daniel Jones. And I think, again, this is a good matchup. The Cowboys have been very beatable through the air this year. Their defense overall has just been bad. They haven't been able to stop the pass. They haven't been able to stop the run. I think the Giants can definitely put up some points in this game. I think right now this game has it's got a 45 total, so it's expected to be kind of a higher scoring game. The Giants, 5.5 point underdogs, so this does set up as a game where the Giants will probably be playing from behind, forced to throw. And Daniel Jones definitely obviously can give us fantasy points through the air, but he can also give us fantasy points with his legs as well, since, again, he is a mobile quarterback. So I do like this spot for Daniel Jones. Like him for more than 16 fantasy score here. I was going to take a look at Underdog and see if they have their fantasy score lines up yet. I don't know if they do, but we'll see if they do, and we'll compare what Underdog has to the Prizepicks if they have their lines up. So Underdog has them at 15.15, which don't love to see that. You're getting a better line over there than you are on Prizepicks. But again, I'm pretty confident in this Daniel Jones play. I like this spot a lot for Daniel Jones. And I think, again, 16 fantasy score easily can go over this line. He's gone over this line back-to-back games in some tougher matchups. I mean, last week had a pretty tough matchup against the Browns. Went over, almost 20 fantasy points. Definitely favorable, much more favorable matchup here against the Cowboys defense that has looked very beatable so far this season. So that's the first prop I like for tonight. If you can't take fantasy score, I think my next favorite play for Daniel Jones would probably be more than 200 pass yards, 200.5. Just because, again, the Cowboys defense has been so beatable through the air. This is a game where the Giants are, underdogs, probably going to be playing from behind. But if you're on Prizepicks and you can take fantasy score, I like fantasy score the most for Daniel Jones, but I don't even mind taking more than 200.5 pass yards either. That's in play too. Now, the other prop that I like on the Cowboys side to pair with this is going to be a receptions prop, and I like Jalen Tolbert for more than 2.5 receptions. So Jalen Tolbert has kind of started to see his role grow just already this season, and he's honestly been outperforming Brandon Cooks, and he might honestly take over as the wide receiver 2 in this offense by the time it's all said and done. Week 1, Jalen Tolbert wasn't very involved. Like he only got 2 targets week 1, but he's really started to put up some better numbers the last 2 weeks. Got 9 targets in their game against the Saints, had 6 catches for 82 yards, and then last week against Baltimore, 5 targets, 3 catches for 42 yards and a touchdown. Now, my favorite play for Tolbert tonight was honestly fantasy score. I like that the most, but unfortunately on Prizepicks, if you take a quarterback over fantasy score and you take a wide receiver over fantasy score in the same game, you get a payout deduction. It goes down to 2.75x instead of 3x. So that's why I didn't take fantasy score, but I really like that fantasy score line on Tolbert. But I think if Tolbert, goes over fantasy score, he probably gets 3 catches too, probably gets 30 receiving yards. But I think receptions is definitely my favorite prop on Tolbert besides fantasy score. Just because, again, he's getting the volume right now, 14 targets over their last 2 games. Now, Tolbert is a guy that does offer kind of big play upside. This season, I think his ADOT is like 14, so he's getting targeted deep down the field. So there are scenarios where maybe Tolbert only gets like 2 catches but gets 30 yards. So it was kind of tough trying to decide what prop to take for Tolbert. But I think, again, receptions I do like. I was looking at sportsbook odds. I think DraftKings has this like -125, -130 favoring the over. Most sportsbooks are favoring the over on this receptions prop for Tolbert. He's had 3 receptions in back-to-back games. The volume's been there, 9 targets, week 2, 5 targets last week. The Giants defense, they've been a lot more beatable on the ground than they have been through the air. But the Cowboys have shown like no running game whatsoever. I mean, Zeke is total dust. Rico Dowdle is not great either. Deuce Vaughn's barely been providing anything on the ground. So even though this is a matchup where the Cowboys probably will have success running the ball, I don't know how much they're actually going to run the ball with Zeke and Rico Dowdle. Like, I think the Cowboys are going to be a very pass-heavy offense this season. Just let Dak be the one to win them games. And last week, I know it's kind of, you look at their game scripts. I mean, they've been playing from behind a lot of weeks, but like Dak had 51 pass attempts last week. I know that, again, they were playing from behind, but he had 39 pass attempts against the Saints, 32 against Cleveland. Like, this Cowboys offense is going to throw the ball a lot. And if Jalen Tolbert's going to continue to play on 70, 80% of the snaps, last week he played on 75% of the snaps, the week before that 86%. If he's going to continue to get that type of playing time, if we can project him for 4 or 5 targets, I think he's got a pretty good chance at 3 receptions. So like that is our second prop for Thursday night. We're going to take Jalen Tolbert for more than 2.5 receptions. So these are the 2 props, guys, that I'm liking for Cowboys Giants on Thursday Night Football Week 4. We're going to take Daniel Jones for more than 16 fantasy score and Jalen Tolbert for more than 2.5 receptions. So just 2 plays for Thursday night. Typically for these primetime games when we only have 1 game, I'm not going to post like 5, 6 plays. Now, if you want to do like a correlation slip, I think that's totally fine for like primetime games, but I don't want to take like 6 different plays just kind of all over the place for a primetime game. I try and just stick to either like, do like a correlation, like kind of like we did on Monday night, stacking up Burrow and Chase. Like, I think that's totally fine to do if you want to do like a 4-pick correlated lineup. But I typically just play like 2 picks on these primetime games. Don't really go too crazy. These are 2 plays. I like kind of taking a look at the board now. If I find any more plays I like, talked about in the video, guys, I'll share those over on Patreon. If you want to check out the Patreon, again, that's linked down below in the description. $20 per month gets you access to Prizepicks plays. Sometimes I'll post underdogs plays. Sometimes I'll post sleeper plays, mainly Prizepicks though. And then we do have a Discord as well you can join where you can get you can get in there. You can talk with me. You can talk with other members of the community. I'm always in Discord to help out, answer questions. But appreciate you guys watching the content as always. Thanks for your support. We did get 10K views on our last video for Monday Night Football, so that's crazy. Love to see that type of support, guys. Thanks as always for watching, for hitting the like button. And again, if you're new here and if you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Also, if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, make sure to sign up for Prizepicks. Use that promo code NOAH. When you do, and when you place your first lineup, you'll instantly get $50 in promo funds added to your account when you sign up for Prizepicks with promo code NOAH. But that's all I got for this Thursday Night Football game, guys. Hopefully we get a good game on Thursday night. Hopefully we can hit both these plays, keep this little hot streak going. And yeah, guys, let's make some money this week. I'll see you in the next video.